In a small village nestled deep in the forests of Nigeria, surrounded by dark forests and flowing rivers, lived a community that thrived on tradition and unity. The villagers were bound by stories passed down through generations, stories that spoke of heroes, spirit, and the mystery of the land. This is one of such stories. Many years ago, in the village of Umudiki, there was a young woman named Adaeze. At age 20 years, Adaeze was known for her kindness, wisdom, and beauty. She lived with her parents, who were respected elders in the village, and spent their days helping with chores and tending to the family's small farm. Despite her youth, Adaeze had a deep understanding of the world around her and a heart that opened to all. One early morning, as the first light of dawn began to creep through the forest, Adaeze set out to collect herbs from the bush. The forest was a place of wonder and mysteries, filled with the sound of birds, the rustling of leaves, and the whispers of the spirits that the villagers believed protected them. Adanna had always felt a connection to the forest, finding peace and solace in its embrace. As she ventured deeper into the bush, her keen eyes searching for the herbs she needed, Ada heard a faint cry. It was a sound unlike any she had heard before, a soft wail that sent chills down her spine. Curious and concerned, she followed the sound, pushing aside branches and stepping carefully over roots and fallen leaves. To her astonishment, she found a small abandoned child, lying in a makeshift cradle of leaves and vine. The child was a boy, no more than a few months old, with a mop of curly hair and big teary eyes. His clothes were tattered, and he looked weak and malnourished. Ada's heart ached at the sight. With the baby was a note. His name and date of birth were on the note. Scared of the sight, but for her so much compassion, "I can't let this baby to die alone." She looked around for the child's mother, but couldn't see her. So without hesitation, she scooped the child into her arm, gently rocking him to calm his cries. "Shush now, little one," she whispered. "You are safe." The child seemed to sense her warmth and slowly quiet, nestled against her. Adanna knew she had to take the baby back to the village. She carefully wrapped him in a cloth that she had brought, gathering herbs, and made her way home, her mind racing with question. Who would have abandoned such a helpless child in the forest? What circumstances had led to this tragedy? When she arrived at the village, the sight of Ada carrying a child drew immediate attention. The villagers gathered around her, murmuring in confusion and curiosity. Adaze's parents, Chief Ikem, and his wife, Mama Nkechi, rushed to her side. "Adaeze, what has happened?" Chief Ikem asked, his eyes wide with concern. "I found this child in the bush," Adaeze explained. "He was alone and crying. We cannot leave him to fate. He is going to die." Mama Nkechi took the child from Adaze's arm, her maternal instincts kicking in. "This poor child," she said softly. "We must take care of him." But someone whispered, "What if the child brings bad luck to the land? We don't even know who dropped it or why he was abandoned." But Adaze's mother shouted, "It's just a baby. How can it bring bad luck to us? If we let this baby to die, I think that will be the cause of bad luck to this village." Adaeze added. After a long deliberation, the villagers agreed, and it was decided that the boy would stay with Adaeze and her family until they could determine where he came from and what had happened to him. They named him Obinna, meaning father's heart. That was the name written on the note, for he had quickly captured the heart of the entire village. As days turned into weeks, Adaeze cared for Obinna as if he was her own. She fed him, bathed him, and sang him lullabies. The villagers helped as well, offering food, clothes, and support. Despite the initial shock and mystery, Obinna thrived under her care, growing stronger and healthier each day. During this time, Adaeze couldn't shake the feeling that there was something special about Obinna. He had an air of wisdom and serenity that seemed beyond his age. She often found herself gazing into his eyes, wondering what secret they held. One evening, As the sun set over the village, casting a warm glow over the huts and fields, an old woman named Ezinne came to Adaeze. Ezinne was known as the village storyteller and keeper of ancient wisdom. Her eyes, though clouded with age, sparkled with wisdom. Adaeze, Ezinne began, her voice soft yet firm. I have heard of the child you found, but there is something you must know. Adaeze nodded, eager to listen. She had always respected Ezinne and her insight. Many years ago, Ezinne continued, there was a prophecy about a child who will be found in the bush, a child who will bring great change to our village. This child, it was said, will bridge the physical world and the spiritual realm, a gift from the spirit themselves. Adaeze's eyes widened in surprise. Do you think Obinna is that child? Ezinne nodded slowly. I believe so. There are signs, my dear. His arrival, the way he has touched the hearts of everyone here, and the serenity he possesses. He is no ordinary child, and he needs to be treated with love and care. He might bring about the prosperity of this village or its doom. You have been chosen to be his carer because of your kind heart and gentle spirit. Teach him good morals, and he will grow up to make us all proud, she said. The weight of Ezinne's words settled on Adanna's shoulder. If Obinna was indeed the child of prophecy, what did it mean for him and for the village? She resolved to protect him and nurture him, whatever the future might hold. As Obinna grew, it became clear that he was indeed special. He had a natural affinity of nature and animals, often seen playing with the village dogs and birds, who seemed to respond to his gentle presence. He also had an uncanny ability to calm those around him, easing tension and bringing a sense of peace wherever he went. When Obinna was 3 years old, Adaeze told her father it was time to enroll Obinna in school. But Adaeze didn't have the resources for that, so the villagers came together and added money to send Obinna to a nursery school in the neighboring village. Every day, Ada would wake up very early, get Obinna ready and send him to school. With joy in her heart, Obinna saw Adaeze as his mother. He never knew she wasn't his mother, but she took care of him and she was the only mother he knows. He was loved in school and he excelled in everything he was interested in. The villagers became proud of him and called him the miracle child of destiny. Years passed and Obinna flourished into a bright, compassionate young boy. Adaeze remained by his side, guiding him and teaching him the ways of the village. She told him about his origin and how she found him. Obinna became sad, but took solace in the fact that he had Adaeze and the whole villagers by his side. So they developed a bond that went beyond that of carer and child. They were kindred spirits, bound by faith and love. Adaeze got married to Okechukwu and she gave birth to 3 beautiful daughters. The daughters saw Obinna as their elder brother and Okechukwu treated Obinna as his son. They had a very beautiful family together, living and treating each other with respect. After school, Obinna would help his father in the farm. He was a strong and agile boy, and Okechukwu was growing him into a very fine young man. Obinna became the talk of the village, and even though the villagers still couldn't find his origin, they believed in the tales that he was a gift sent to them and will one day bring fortune to the land. Obinna was a happy child and worked hard as the man of the house, as his father fondly called him. The village flourished and all the villagers had good fortune. People came from neighboring village to buy and sell in the village. The farmers had bountiful harvests, the fishermen lots of fishes, and everyone was happy. They blessed the gods for the gift of Obinna and were happy. They didn't reject him from the beginning. But one fateful day, a crisis struck the village. A severe drought and plague had plagued the land, causing crops to wither and rivers to dry up. The villagers were desperate. Their once lush fields reduced to barren dust. Chief Enkay called for a council meeting to seek for a solution. During the meeting, Ezinne spoke up. The spirits are displeased, she said. We must seek their guidance and make amends. Perhaps Obinna, the child of prophecy, can help us. And another elder spoke up. What if he is the cause of this? What if his presence is the reason for all this calamity? But Enkay said it can't be possible, because since the arrival of Obinna to the village has flourished and have been prosperous. I believe he is going to be our savior. Another elder said. All eyes turned to Obinna. Now a young boy of 10, he stepped forward with confidence and humility. I will do whatever I can to help our village, he said. If that is the will of the gods, I will do whatever they want me. Adeze was scared for him, for she had come to love Obinna as her own. Guided by Ezine, Obinna and Adeze ventured into the heart of the forest, to a sacred grove where the spirits believed to reside. They carried offerings of food, water, and precious herbs, praying for rain and the restoration of their land. The spirit spoke to Obinna, telling him about his origin, and he was a special child. As they walked through the forest, only Obinna could hear the voices. He asked Adeze if she heard the spirit, what the spirit had said, but she said no. Confirming how special he was, they continued on the journey to the heart of the forest, the land of the spirits. As they reached the grove, a sudden stillness fell over the forest. Obinna knelt down and spoke softly, his voice carrying a weight far beyond his age. Great spirit of the land, we seek your mercy. Our village is suffering and we ask for your help. A gentle breeze stirred the leaves, and a sense of presence filled the grove. Adeze watched in awe as Obinna continued to speak, his words flowing like a river of wisdom and compassion. The air seemed to thinner with energy, and for a moment it felt as if the entire forest was listening. Then, as if in response to their prayer, dark clouds began to gather in the sky. The first drop of rain fell, slowly at first, then faster, until a downpour drenched the earth. Adeze and Obinna stood in the rain, their faces lifted in gratitude and joy. When they returned to the village, the sight of the rain brought cheers and tears of relief for the villagers. The drought had ended, and their crops and rivers would be restored. Obinna had fulfilled the prophecy, bringing hope and renewal to Umudike. Years later, as Obinna grew into a wise and respected elder, he never forgot the woman who found him in the forest and nurtured him with love. Adeze too remained by his side, proud of the man that he had become. The story of Obinna and Adeze was passed down through generations, a tale of destiny, compassion, and the enduring power of love. It became a legend, reminding the people of Umudike of the magic that will be found in the unexpected places and the strength that comes with unity and faith. I hope you enjoyed the story. Please to share it to your friends, family, and loved ones. Please don't forget to like, subscribe to our channel so that you can help our channel to grow. Thank you.